Would you like to know more?
Welcome to Almost a Podcast, another Adventures in 3D Printing. Today we're looking at some of the April Forest Dragon releases. We have Bowmen, we have some characters to go with the Bowmen, we have some Peg Knights, and we have some Peg Knight characters. So first up we have our Bowmen, who are a port of your Empire crossbowmen, so 55 points, no min, no max. 3 attacks, 1 shooting attack, no armor, 3 hits per stand, 3 stands per unit, 55 points. We have a couple of banner options. This one's got, I guess that's a griffin. I guess as a griffin is one of the motifs running through Bretonian. They've got a little bit of a Robin Hoody vibe, but maybe that's just my unconscious bias that I see whenever I see medieval stuff. I see Robin Hood, but that may be also because they look like they're carrying longbows, and I'm pretty sure longbow was a definite British or maybe even English weapon, where people were kind of made to practice the longbow, and so therefore they had lots of archers, because that's what they had to do all day long, is play shooting an arrow in the ground and then other people shooting the arrow to try and land next to the arrow. So, just like the British to create a game out of things. I'm surprised it still doesn't exist, the shooting the arrow game. Anyway, enough flim flam. What I've decided to do is, rather than spend the whole time talking about supports I haven't cleaned off, or indeed talking about the supports I did clean off, I thought I'm going to stop cleaning the supports off for these videos, and I'm going to show you the miniatures with the supports, so then you get an idea of A, if you're not into 3D printing that much, what the supports look like and what you have to do to get rid of them, and B, if you're into 3D printing, you can see what level of cleanup you're going to have to deal with, and also you can see how Forest Dragon have dealt with the pre-supporting the models, because they supply the models pre-supported and individual landing strips and unsupported, so you get a whole mess of different options when you get your miniatures STLs. So this is the first flag. Second flag is quite a similar unit with a fleur-de-lis or something here. So how these work, because they're in little strips of 2, and I don't know really why they're in strips of 2. I know GW did that, but there's no necessity for it to be in anything other than it could be just like a strip like the regular stuff's in strips of 5, like lengthways, because we're kind of reinventing the wheel here, aren't we? But if they are printed on strips of 2 like these, you get quite a lot of little strips of 2 miniatures. So I've printed a couple of units off. There's absolutely tons of little strips of 2 miniatures. So I'll show you the flag ones. Look at this guy here, to me. And then I'll show you a few of the little 2 strips, and then we'll move on to the other stuff. So I like the fact that he's got his he's not got a quiver, he's just got his arrows in the ground. That's very thematic. That's kind of what they did. They put the arrows in the ground and then they just pull them out and shoot them. Interesting thing here that he appears to be shooting like across, and maybe this is historically accurate and I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure when I've done archery now, what we do is we kind of shoot over this thumb and kind of along the bow, so on the outside of the bow, whereas this kind of is on the inside of the bow. That may be historically how they did it, because as I say, I'm not that much of an archery expert. I've done a bit of archery at like scouts and stuff, but maybe the bows have changed, maybe the way we do things have changed, but I'm pretty sure we didn't fire across our arm here. Health and safety and all that good stuff. So yeah, I like these. As always, got some beautiful sculpts. There really isn't anything you'd want that isn't here. There isn't any amount of detail that you'd want that isn't here. I mean, it all looks very nice, very nice. So we'll have a look at one more. Yeah. So you in game, are these great? Well, they don't cost any break if you lose them, but shooting's deliberately underwhelming in the game. I mean, that is a fact. You don't want, this game is not about gun lines, so it's deliberately underpowered. So men shooting are as good as goblins shooting, are as good as skeletons shooting, and the only thing that's different is some of the elves, but you pay through the nose for those kind of 3-up shooting options. We have a couple of characters. We have this a fine looking chap, isn't he, with a very, very broad sword here. So I'm not sure in the game, this guy might be my general actually, because I'm not sure in the game I have many foot mounted characters in Bretonnia, and I think I have some enchantresses and some peg knight, kind of Pegasus mounted fight characters. I don't have my Griffin mounted general because I'm not crazy. Because if you've got him mounted for fighting, he's going to have to fight, and if he fights and dies, that's the end of your game. So this is one of the enchantresses. I do like this kind of, is this like a stag antler motif going on here? That she's casting a spell? When it first printed out, I thought maybe she was on horseback and it just hadn't printed out right, but it's not. She's kind of floating, which is cool, on a long dress, and then there's this kind of, you trim the supports off here, and you've got a kind of antler motif going off. Yeah, very nice, very dynamic pose for not very many supports. If you see, there's only 4 supports on the model, and it's an incredible amount of dynamism, like kind of flowing robes and a kind of beautiful sculpt, beautiful, well done, well done.